Grandmaster Torok, Kaji Kimbo, KSDI.
Kerry Evans, Kaji Kimbo, KSDI.
Welcome to another one of our videos on YouTube that try to explore certain training tips that you can think about and perhaps utilize, modify, what have you. Today we're going to talk about distancing. Any good technique, in order for it to work, has to be applied at the proper distance to the target and at the right time. And it has to be flexible enough so that you can actually change your mind in the process of execution, because this other person may be moving back, moving in, staying still, throwing a shot at you or whatever. Okay? So distancing is an important concept a lot of people forget about because they think they built it into the technique, whereas that technique may still be applicable, but the distance will have changed. In a subsequent future video, we're going to talk about timing elements as well and ways to practice timing. There are certain fundamentals to keep in mind as we work the distancing and show you what we mean by that. Okay? First of all, you need to practice enough so that it becomes instinctive, that you do it unconsciously, where you're moving without having to think about what you're doing and still being able to get to the target. Okay? Another thing to keep in mind is keep your center line closed. For example, for fighting, and if I come in, I just open up my center line. No matter how quick I might be to stop that, this guy can be quicker too. Yet he has to hit him when he's not ready to be hit, like when he's moving back or stepping into the zone where you hit. Okay? Another thing to keep in mind is to use your power leg. A lot of people kind of step and throw their weight when they do that, which leaves them less flexible and easy to sweep the feet and so on, but not as much body power. By power leg, I mean, or driving leg, always keep your body slightly down. If I move in, this leg is going to be pushing forward. If I go back, this leg pushes back. Okay, you don't step and drag like that. Okay, you're same stepping by using that thrusting action of the legs, and you can't use that if you're straight up. Okay, another thing to keep in mind is shifting your weight. Too many people shift the upper body first and then pull the lower body behind. Subsequently, what happens is, as I step into this person, this way, but please forgive me to take a step back when I come. Okay, so I'm stepping in. Notice I threw my upper body and I got stuck there. Now I got to make up some time here, and he could be throwing stops at me. So when you're moving, say this is a neutral position, this is a forward position, this is a back defensive position. Okay. From here, first I move the lower body, and then I decide which direction I'm going to throw something. If I start this too soon, without moving that lower body and my legs are flat, I'm going to throw my upper body there, and I'm not going to have a very good technique. Okay, so here's our driving leg, moves it forward. There's my hip switches, whichever happens, and then I come in. And of course, you can use faking and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so we've talked about some basics, some fundamentals. Let's go ahead and talk about the actual motions. Okay. For example, now we have what's called a side straddle stance. This is a setup for back kicks, for side kicks, for back fists and things. Notice there's a neutral position here, but again down a little bit. If I were now to try to hit carry from here, and if I throw my upper body in this way, that's okay. I've committed to it, but at the same time, I won't be able to do too much more. So we do the shifting first. It's just a nice little shimmy kind of a shift, hit. You notice from here I can't hit him. From this position I can hit him very easily. And so you're paying attention to the distancing, and one of the first distances is no distance. In other words, you are where you are. If we were in a street fight, you are where you are. Now these motions are principally linear. That is, I'll either come straight in, which is a little more dangerous, or I'll come in at an angle on this person. Now lateral motions are good, but they're principally defensive because you can't come back very quickly. So for example, if Kerry's charging me, hitting me, and I come off the side, that's a good move because he may go by me. But for me to come back and still expect him to be there probably won't happen. So I'm not saying you can't do that kind of stuff. But if you think too much, you're probably going to get ahead of yourself. You have to be able to change your mind as you go with the techniques. So in a street position, you might be like this and think about how to move. And again, you can move in with just a simple step. Move in with a simple step. Okay, but drop your weight, push, power, stay centered, not leaning, because otherwise you minimize your chances for follow-up. But let's talk mostly about fighting stances. Okay, let's say that we're in what's called a normal fighting stance. That is, you're sideways a little bit, able to throw kicks forward, kicks with each leg, and you can jab and cross and so on. Hands, let's say, are defensively here. Once I'm out here, it doesn't make any difference. Defensively here. Okay. Now from here, if I get to this point and I haven't done anything, that's probably too late, because he's going to do something right there. Okay, so the idea is, maybe I stepped into this position, I shifted my weight, and then I can come in and hit this person. Okay? So keep that in mind. It's not like you got all day long. Okay? So the first way to cover some distance, if I'm already in this position, besides just shifting my weight, is to do a skip or a drag or slide, it's called, not a skip. So from here to get there, okay, I don't need to take a whole big step. Okay, from here I can simply take a little step, but I don't want to stay there. I'm going to step and drag, slide, because from here again, I can hit the guy pretty easily. Probably from here I'd come in with a couple puck styles and hit the guy. Okay? So it's just as simple, but keep in mind, if you're flat, you drop, driving leg, push. You don't want to do this and pull. You can, but I don't think it's nearly as effective. Okay? Okay, so we've talked about stepping, and again, from a normal forward stance to a side straddle stance, you can just pretty much do the step slide, forward and backwards, and so on. Okay, so now the next step is going to be a skip step. Okay, let's move about a little bit over here. Okay, so you notice he had just moved to that position, and I'm here, so I did the step slide, boom. Okay, but now you see I missed him. Okay. So we'll do the combination second, okay? So if I'm a little further away, again, not expecting it necessarily to stay there or not, but we're going to cover more distance, okay, we're going to do what's called a skip step. So from here, I skip. Okay. So from here, if I skip, notice I can make up that extra step. So if he's there and he goes back on me, so I'll be skip stepping knowing he's going back. I mean, if I'm here and I skip step, he won't be there anymore. So I'm coming in on him so I can cover that extra distance. Another feature of the skip step is that if you use the driving leg concept, that lead leg can become, and you can step back a little bit again, that lead leg can become a kick. So I skip step, and then I can throw a kick instead, because I saw he was going back to get more distance. Okay? So skip stepping is a pretty popular way to step, but you still have to watch your body. Now there's different ways to skip step. As I said, you can modify these. Okay, you're going to move back again, Kerry. Okay? So instead of skipping here, I can throw my upper body and then drop that leg down and go through it. The next way to step to cover more distance is a full step. So we call this skipping, and now we're going to step. So I'm here, the skip step got me here. So from here, I'm going to actually step all the way through. The danger here, of course, is you've opened your center line. You're here. So obviously you want to keep something going here, and you want to make sure this person maybe is planning on going back rather than, you won't punch me, rather than walking into that. Okay, and of course if they're sneaky, you'll never know what they're going to do. So anyway, a cross step is good because it covers more distance, but usually it's done as a way to catch somebody that's really going back. So let's say Kerry's here, and I'm going to do a skip step, and from here I can go into a cross step because I knew he's going back. And you can combine these now. For example, I can do a step slide, but I realize that he moved back. I can go into my cross step, and if you use the driving leg concept, I can put a couple of skip slides together. Okay. Now there's other ways to step. For example, the cross step. The cross step the leg. Some people use it to cover more distance. Some people use it, just kind of cover your head up here. Cover up. I meant the other hand. Anyway, so to set up for some kind of a technique. The danger of the cross step is that they can come in and catch you. So you have to know what you're doing with it. Okay, so you can combine them. You can use them individually. The important thing, stay centered. Watch your center line. You're ready to change your technique. Say I skip step in and Kerry decides to punch me. I have to be able to change my mind as I come in. And always be flexible. I hope we've given you some good ideas, some ways to practice these stepping patterns, and they help you deliver your technique. Thank you.